What's going on, guys? It's Caleb, back with another video, and in this one, we are talking about Episode 9 of Lord of the Mysteries. Man, I gotta be honest with y'all. I'm kind of mad right now, okay? For two reasons. And honestly, that has nothing to even do with the episode, which we'll get into in a minute. But the first one is, you may have noticed, last week I didn't make an episode about LOTM Episode 8, and that's because I ended up watching it kind of late. Like, I was about 5 days into his life cycle already when I ended up watching it, so I decided there really probably isn't no point to make a video on it anymore. People are already done with the episode. But the real reason that I'm kind of mad right now, you see, I'm getting red. I'm angry. It's because I wanted to record a reaction for Episode 9 of LOTM, and I did. I was sitting here, my chair had the desk standing down, and I was chilling. I was watching it. I was reacting to it. But apparently, about 4.5 minutes into the recording, I must have hit spacebar, or I don't know. I must have did something somehow, and I stopped the recording. I fucking quit the recording. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty mad. I wasn't even gonna make this video, but I decided, you know what? I gotta do it. I just gotta do it. Since I didn't make one last week, I would just be dumb not to. So here I am, with my dick in my hand, with no reaction. But hey, we're still gonna get the video out anyway. Anyway, though, this episode was great. I know I've been saying this for practically every episode, each one from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, didn't do 8, now 9. I've been saying, and I don't want to sound like I'm on repeat, but I've been saying that the pacing has been getting better with each episode, or at least it feels that way as a, an anime only or donghua only watcher. And this episode solidifies that. This episode was great from the beginning to the end. It was all coherent. There wasn't like a bunch of jumping around. There wasn't crazy lore dumps that they expected you to understand in like a split second. So I really like this episode for that reason. It also was definitely the most emotional episode so far. I know I didn't make a reaction for the last episode, but during it when this guy died, I'm not even going to say his name because it's spelled Havre in the captions, but the way they say it does not sound like that. So, to not get pitchforked at in the fucking comments, I'm just not even going to say the name. But when he died last episode, I was thinking, it really wasn't that sad, but it was sad for old man Neil, considering, he's all alone, basically. That was like his last true friend. His wife is dead. All of his, allies and friends who were his own age are now all gone. And I was saying, albeit it wasn't, like, the guy's death wasn't sad, I'd be really sad if old man Neil died. And then the next episode, he goes around and fucking dies. So yeah, I was pretty sad about that. I may have even cried, but you guys won't be able to see that considering I fucked up the reaction. I didn't cry though. Just make sure you know I didn't cry. I'm a man. I don't cry. It's a little bit late for this, but this video will contain spoilers for Episode 9 of LOTM. So if you haven't watched it already, you should go and do so. But granted, if you clicked on this video, you probably should have already watched it. Let's be honest here. But also, y'all should like and subscribe. I'm almost at 260 subscribers. Honestly, I may already be at it. And if I am already at it, let's shoot for 265 subscribers. But anyway, without further ado, let's get right into this. So in this episode, a couple of key events occurred. For one, Klein leaked the acting method to the members of the Nighthawks, which then led this guy from the Holy Cathedral, a member of the Three Red Gloves, to pull up and start causing some conflict. Of course, Klein progressed into his Sequence 8 Beyonder, Clown, and obviously old man Neil's death. Let's first talk about the acting method. So to my understanding, the acting method is basically where a Beyonder, to progress into the next sequence or to fully digest their current sequence, they have to act according to its name. So like for Klein, he had to act like the Sequence 9 Seer to then progress and fully digest it to then progress into Clown. So the part that I find a little bit weird about that is, why is it like a secret, you know what I mean? And like, why are the Holy Cathedral like so hell-bent on keeping the acting method hidden? Why wouldn't they want, their members of the Nighthawks to, just progress and get stronger? I don't really get that. I'm a little bit confused on that. So if someone wants to clarify that in the comments for me, I'm sure if I rewatched it, I'd figure it out, and someone's going to say that to me, but I'm not doing that. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused on why it's like such a big deal. Because to me, wouldn't you want, your people to be strong? But I don't know. That's just me. I will say, though, as a whole, the acting method is a really, really cool concept. I like how to actually progress, they don't just have to drink the potions. They have to, like, fully digest it. And one of the ways is to act according to its name. I don't know. I think that's really sick. This anime has, like, a really, really cool power system. I don't know, man. This is straight up one of the better power systems I've seen in a long, long time. You know, if this was like a normal 12-episode anime, at this point in the series, episode 9, the acting method wouldn't even be a thing, and Klein would probably already be like a sequence like 5 and above and be strong as shit. So it's kind of cool like seeing him progress like relatively slow. I mean, in story, it's pretty fast. Like, he's progressing to sequence 8 in only 2 months, they said, which is like borderline unheard of. But to us as a viewer, it's like kind of slow, you know what I'm saying? And I like that. I like him progressing like that. And the Holy Cathedral guy, he was pretty cool. He was a complete dick, let's be real here. Or at least he seemed like he was. I don't really think he was, but I don't know, his like methods were kind of mean. But you know, he was sent there to make them swear secrecy to the acting method, and you know, he'll punish them if they spread it, and to interrogate Klein. You know, but that leads back to the acting method. I don't really get why it's like such a big deal to keep it hidden, even within their like own ranks. I don't know. I just find that kind of weird. Because I don't know, wouldn't you want your people to be strong? I don't know. I'm pretty sure, though, he is so far in the story, at least, like, the known highest Beyonder I think we've seen. He was sequence 4. And I'm pretty sure that's the highest we've seen, because I'm pretty sure the captain is only, like, I think he was sequence 6. So he was, like, a whole 2 things above him. Or, no, was he sequence 5? Fuck, I don't remember. I think the Holy Cathedral guy is sequence 5, but his strength with that holy sword thing is like comparable to his sequence 4. I think that's what was said. Or it may have been sequence 3. I think it was comparable to sequence 4, though, but he's a sequence 5. I think that is what it was said. And I'm pretty sure Dunn, the captain, is sequence 6. But yeah, anyway, I think he is the highest level Beyonder we've seen so far, at least that we know of. And honestly, you could like definitely feel that like overwhelming strength he possesses when he was on screen. Like not only when he was interrogating Klein, like he like, dude, he was like getting inside of him. Pause. But I don't even know what he was doing, dude. He just was like making his veins pop up. It was crazy. And then when he made them like swear secrecy, he like changed the environment. It was crazy. It was honestly crazy. Like you could straight up feel this dude's strength through the screen. Even the captain, who is definitely, you know, the strongest out of all of them, seemed very shook up at just the sight of him. But I don't want to just do all the glazing for him, because Klein now is like pretty strong. I mean, he's only sequence 8, but we've seen that his powers now are like a lot stronger. I mean, for one, he was kind of able to like spot, I believe, the hidden sage, like, somewhat messing with Old Man Neil, which we'll get into in a minute. He, like, seen the shadowy figure behind him. But he also just a lot more faster and stronger. Like, he was able to, you know, catch all the papers and save the girl from falling down. And let's be honest, your Sequence 9 Klein was probably not doing that. He still definitely has a long way to go, as seen when he tried doing, like, the air bullets. He then said, you know, he failed. And he said that he probably won't get that to, like, Sequence 7 or above. So he definitely has, like, a long way to go, especially in terms of, like, combat abilities. But his seer shit is definitely a lot stronger. You know, he has precognition now. He was able to watch Neil, like, he knew what Neil was going to do before he did it with, like, his tie and shit. And being able to possibly spot, like, the remnants of a god in, like, in Neil's, like, aura, which I think that's what happened. I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure. But, you know, Klein definitely is getting a lot stronger now, which is pretty cool to see. But the last thing I want to talk about is Old Man Neil's death, because that was kind of fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. So a few episodes back, we learned about the Hidden Sage. Now, honestly, it could have been last episode. I don't really remember. But, you know, we learned that it is knowledge, basically. It's knowledge that became a god and is evil now. It's an evil knowledge god, basically, I think. And he basically, one way or another, led Neil to his death. So this takes us back to when the interrogator was interrogating Klein. I may get a little bit wrong here with some of the shit I say, so correct me in the comments if I am. But basically, during that interrogation, he was talking about, you know, temptations and were you, like, contacted by, like, an evil god or whatever. And this then leads us into, you know, Old Man Neil. And what I believe happened with Old Man Neil is, you know, seeing that, you know, his lifelong friend just died, like, a couple of days ago or a week ago, whatever, in the story. And the fact that his wife is dead and everyone he's known for his whole life is basically dead. The Hidden Sage, you know, like, tempted him with hidden dark knowledge on how to resurrect his dead wife. And Neil, being in this like fragile, fractured mental state, basically just went along with it and accepted, the temptation to resurrect his wife. Of course, this was a very messed up ritual. One of the tenets of it was like you need human blood or whatever, and he like wrote on it like I might be able to use my own. And as we've seen, he definitely used his own. That's low-key an understatement. His house was like fucking covered in organs and guts and blood just everywhere. And Neil has like turned into this like flesh amalgamation with just like long hair and just weird stuff. And yeah, they eventually kill Neil after they use like this sealed artifact on him, and they then pop him in the head. But man, that was a sad death. I'm not gonna play it up or anything. I'm not gonna say like it was super duper sad death. Of course, but in terms of the show, this is by far the saddest death in the entirety of LOTM so far. I'm sure there's probably sadder deaths to happen later on, but this one was pretty sad, especially because so far I really wasn't expecting him to die. At least, especially with last episode, I literally said that if he dies, I'd be kind of mad and sad if he dies. Given the fact of the one dude dying, but yeah, and then he dies. So I was kind of shocked. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty shocked. I mean, I think it was pretty obvious once they got to the house. It's like, okay, yeah, this is where it's going. Okay, yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that it was a pretty sad death. If I had to like rate it, that's pretty morbid. But if I had to like rate the death scene on like a one being not sad, 10 being sad, I'd probably give it like a 6-ish on the sad scale. Like it was sad, but it ain't gonna have me like tearing up or anything. It wasn't like Ace death or something like that, but it was still pretty sad. But we can't dwell on the past. We only gotta look towards the future and the present. Klein is now a Sequence 8 Beyonder, and with the Holy Cathedral guy pulling up and all that shit, and Neil's death, I can feel it. I think y'all can feel it too. It's starting to get real. Like, the story is starting to get kind of crazy. I don't even know where they can go with this from here on out. Like, what's going to happen next episode. I was, can't really make a theory. Because it's just, I can't theorize what's going to happen next episode, dude. Shit's just about to get crazy. That's all I know. It's about to get wicked. Anyway, though, I don't really got much else to add. I honestly wasn't even going to make this video. Because I'm upset. I'm upset about the reaction. I'm not going to lie. I, low-key was locked in on that. But, yeah, whatever. Yeah, with this, I don't got anything else to add. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.